Hi, thank you all for tuning in today. My name is Jamison Reichert, and I'm an admissions representative at North Hennepin Community College. Today, we are visiting with Veteran Services, and I have a few questions for them. So first, let's hear some introductions and what you each do at North Hennepin Community College.
Hi everyone, my name is Janet Lorenzo. I am the Military and Veteran Coordinator here at North Hennepin Community College, and I'm a veteran myself. My primary role here at NHCC is to really be the education benefit liaison between North Hennepin and the VA. We have experience working with all the chapters, including Chapter 30, Chapter 31, also known as Voc Rehab, Chapter 33, post 9/11, Chapter 35, FTA, now doing business as Army Ignite, STR, and Chapter 1606. I also work with the Debt Management Center to advocate for the students with any mitigating circumstances that may have happened during your academic journey. And we also are a yellow ribbon institution, so that means all of our faculty and staff work well with the students to ensure their academic needs are met.
Hi everyone, my name is Anong Thor and I am the academic advisor for military and veteran students here at North Hennepin Community College. My role here is to meet with all military and veteran students every semester. If you're planning on using benefits through the VA, you will want to make sure that you are taking the classes that are required for your degree so that the VA can pay for it. Every degree will have some basic generals and some core classes. Taking the correct courses will, for your degree, will ensure that the courses will be certifiable. You can meet with me either by calling in for a drop-in or to make an appointment to meet with me by calling in our advising center main line.
Thank you each for introducing yourselves and being here virtually with us. So one of the first questions I have for you both is, how does your office and advising work together to ensure military, veterans, and their loved ones are ready to start each semester?
I really love this question, and the main reason why I love this question is because, again, we want to ensure that all of the classes that the students are taking are certifiable. So this is a way that Anong and I work well together by checking and double checking to ensure that the classes are certifiable. The way that we do that is we essentially have a checklist that we go through. So we start by working through the steps of admission into the college, completing the online orientation and registration session. The registration session, like Anong was saying, is an important step because the advisor will go over the classes to ensure they are certifiable for each degree plan. That is super important. We have had students who will go off and not meet with her and then find out afterwards that classes are not certifiable. So that really is a barrier for the students. So utilize your resources, and in this case, it would be utilizing your advisor, Anong, to ensure your classes are certifiable. We also will order a JSP transcript, and then also taking the AccuPlacer, and then final step is to go through financial aid. What I do with the certification is called a dual certification. First, I will advise the VA how many credits you are taking during that term, and then I will amend it after the drop-add period to add the tuition and fees. And the reason why I do a dual certification is to ensure that the student has no debt in case you decide to change your classes, or you find out later on that one of your classes isn't certifiable, and then you can just add a class that is certifiable.
Thank you for that. Next question is specifically about North Hennepin Community College. What does it mean that we are a yellow ribbon institution?
Yeah, so on August 24th, 2016, North Hennepin Community College was proclaimed a yellow ribbon institution. So what this means to veterans and service members and loved ones at North Hennepin is that we're committed to success of your higher education. We have faculty and staff who have a passion to see our students succeed and are willing to help in any way that we can to overcome barriers that our students may face. You know, and Jana and I are here to ensure that there are policies as well in place to help with our veteran, military and veteran students population.
And then Jameson, I also wanted to add to that because becoming a yellow ribbon institution is another passion of mine. We will be continuing on with our yellow ribbon meetings on campus. And with those meetings, we will have action plans to ensure that our service members, veterans, and loved ones are heard about the needs that they would like to see on campus. So more to come with that.
Looking forward to it. Thank you. And lastly, final question. As a service member, what made you choose North Hennepin Community College?
You know, this is a great question because a lot of our students, when we do our intake process, they advise that the reasons why they've chosen North Hennepin is because of how well Anong and I work together, ensuring that each student is squared away for each semester, but also because of the variety of programs that we've been approved for through our WINS program, and then also because of the flexibility that we have on campus with each of the classes and the location of where our campus is at.
Thank you. Well, at this point, would you speak a little bit more about your resources and how students can get in contact with each of you?
Yes, so a few of our partners that we have that we've worked with in the past, we're so happy to have them as partners because they really do help with barriers that students face. And these are everyday barriers that students face. So one of our partners is MACV. They're also known as Minnesota Assistance Council for Veterans. Their primary role is to help with homelessness or preventing homelessness. They also offer legal aid, free legal aid for anybody who's attending, and it's also available for all veterans. So check them out. Great resource to have. We also work with family advocates within the VA for anyone who has served with Operation Enduring Freedom and Operation Iraqi Freedom for healthcare benefits and claims. I've utilized them myself, and they really do cut through the red tape, and it's wonderful service to have. So they're another great resource that needs to be utilized. We also partner with Crystal VFW, Veterans of Foreign Wars, Post 494. They have given a generous donation towards our Vet Club on campus, also called Veteran Student Association, VSA. They are just small examples of how we work within our four walls to ensure our students are supported, along with working with our community partners.
And like Janet had mentioned, our VSA student club, it's kind of put on hold right now for due to COVID, but you know, in the past, students have been very involved. We do a lot of variety of just gatherings and then events as well on campus. So looking forward to that in the future. But that is also one way of connecting with other military and veterans students, as well as connecting with Janet and myself. So again, I'm in the advising office, and then I think Janet works out of the counseling office for now, but we do occasionally go and visit the Veterans Resource Center as well, and where students normally kind of just hang out.
Yeah.
Well, thank you both again for virtually being with us today. We encourage anybody watching this video to reach out at any point during your educational journey, ask questions, get resources, or even just check in with the Veteran Services. So thank you both.
You're welcome. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, this was fun.